So, looks like my People Playground Iceberg became a little popular. No, but seriously, I didn't expect that to grow as much as I did. I'm not going to spend much more time on that, but we all know why you're here. See new entries, corrections, and just other things I've gotten wrong from the first People Playground Iceberg I made. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out. You have a bit more context to some of the points I'm going to be making. I'm mostly making this because of what I think of Part 1. Do I hate Part 1? No, not really. But do I like it? No, not really. Also, this isn't really in the Iceberg format. I added the new entries to my previous one, but since I don't know how good I am at putting things in the right spot, I'm not really going to sort it that way. I'm just going to talk about the points as they come up. Anyways, on with the show! Corrections.
Alright, I get it!
But anyway, first things first, apparently I pronounced Gorse wrong. By the comments, it should be pronounced Gorse or something along those lines. I've never heard anybody pronounce it before, so I just kind of went off of how I always read it, so if I unknowingly pronounce it as Gorse, you'll know why. I just misread things a lot. I don't think it's dyslexia, but who knows. This is kind of a correction, but yes, Radio Voice does play in the void. And knowing that for sure still kind of creeps me out with the theory that something exists in the void. And yes, the hell audio files play at the bottom of the abyss. I found that out for myself. So, I was right about my guess, but I wasn't 100% sure on it before. I did go on to the map to try to find Radio Voice myself, but even after waiting around for 30 minutes or so, I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to take the word of the comments. Little Prelude. I keep getting people saying that it's from Portal 2. I looked it up, and yes, it does come from that. But I've done so many playthroughs of that game, I can't really remember where exactly it played. But now knowing where Little Prelude comes from, it's better. It also kind of ties in with that whole laboratory thing. Hidden noises on the C-map. By what one person said, if you went down to the C-map in an older version, you would hear a kind of banging. I was also told about a theory of sorts about the thing in C. It's a reference to a real event where a submachine malfunctioned, and there are people trapped slowly suffocating. The things are them trying to escape. So thanks for that horrific thought. C.Wav plays at the bottom of the water park in Hybrid, according to a couple comments. Like Radio Voice, I tried to find it for myself, but didn't. I'm just going to take the word of the comments again, because so many people say it. People Playground and Mutilated All are on friendly terms. They collaborated. Just look at the worm staff. I never use it, so I never really saw the description of it. So, Hit Default.wav is just a slightly different version of Take the L from Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, so that's why I didn't notice. I have no idea if the song originated from anywhere else, though, so... Last correction. I feel pretty bad about not showing the red hallway. I thought I did while making part 1, but didn't. So I'm going to be showing that off in a later segment. Some other things I got wrong. So it has come to my attention that apparently the unbreakable lights are indeed breakable. You have to throw an electrified object at them. But I've also heard that it's only with the use of mods, so I'm not really sure. The footage shows I've tried, but nothing really worked. And something that is more likely common knowledge is that you can shut off the lights in the environment tab. Everything about the blue thing on blocks. So I was wrong about basically everything surrounding the blue thing on blocks. Firstly, it's called the wormhole. Secondly, it did have a purpose. Before the void was easily accessible through the map selection, it was originally a hidden map. Going to blocks and destroying the wormhole resulted in the map being deleted, and you were now on the void. Thirdly, David Apple was emitted from it, and it could only play when you were near it. You don't need to use tons of TNT to break off the C panel. Apparently you can just grab it with the drag tool. Well, you didn't. I think the drag tool was removed, or at least the one I'm referring to. So I don't really think this point holds up. Even then, anytime I tried with it, it still didn't work, so I just find explosions I always use to be way more effective. The vase screams when you kill people next to it. Yep. If you want to know the apparent greater reason behind the vase, you just need to kill someone around it. That's it. Still, doesn't have much of a purpose. So there's actually a point to the tower TV. I said I wasn't sure if the purpose has been found, but it was found relatively quickly, actually. It's asking for the circumference of a circle, and that's the code to the Abyss keypad. I always saw a face, so I'm guessing I'm just dumb. People have also thought that it was just a reference to the ring, but apparently not. And now we're to the fun part, the new entries. Ambiance setting. This one is incredibly simple. If you don't want any of the creepy noises, just go to the audio setting, turn the ambience all the way down. Simple. People Playground is actually a horror game. I saw some people in the comments say this, and I do agree with them on some level. It can be very psychological with how hidden and creepy the stuff could be, and it could very well go up on a list of horror games that don't seem scary on the outside. Honestly, if the devs updated enough to where it becomes a hidden horror game, I wouldn't be that opposed. It'd actually be pretty cool. Tower screams are the sounds of people being experimented on. Also another one I do kind of agree with. I mean, just listen to them. They're terrifying. They sound like someone in pain. Something. That's a slightly unique interpretation of the screams in the comments that say the screams are somebody being turned into a gorse. I like that idea. The gorse smells like burnt glue because it is a mutated horse. Horses are/used to be used to make glue. The gorse smells of burnt glue. Both are four-legged creatures, and I can see why some people would think that, but I think there are way too many physical differences to make me fully on board with that idea. Truth of the hallway. This is a theory that with the Uncharted Territory portal, it leads you to a possible escape from the lab. If you don't know about the lab theory, see part 1. The flashing lights and sirens are to alert you that you're escaping, and of course, you aren't supposed to do that. Faraday theory. This theory revolves around the Faraday malfunction achievement. I will read out the comment that had this theory. It seems to support the lab theory because there's a different signal, presumably one from out somewhere other than the presumed lab, where the lab is encased in a Faraday cage and is blocking all outside communication. But part of it broke and allowed a glimpse of the outside content. This is also well backed because of the loose panel on the C map. There's also some metal bars and other contraptions that could possibly be part of this cage. Note that in the void map, there's a radio signal you can hear because there is no hypothetical cage. The devs keep removing secrets. Yeah, they do, likely just because some become outdated, like needing the wormhole to go to the Abyss. But I still don't see the harm in keeping some of them. They're really cool, and having them, but I also kind of think removing them adds to the mystery in a way, actually. Something about a warehouse. This is a common interpretation of what the radio voice is saying. People keep saying that it says something and then mentions a warehouse. The beginning is different between most people, but I hear a lot of people hear warehouse at the end. I never thought about that before. I read it, so I just wasn't hearing it. But I also hear a couple people mentioning something about money and a firehouse instead. admin box. I'm not 100% sure on what this thing actually does, but I did see it in a couple of modded maps. I tried looking it up to find out what it does, but I got nothing. I even went to go boot up a modded map with one, but thanks to the latest update, version 1.21, modded maps no longer seem to work. Just like modded syringes with a different update. If anyone knows what it really does, please say it, because I am curious on knowing what that does. I don't even know what to call this entry, but it's a pretty neat theory from someone in the comments. It's long, so just bear with me. I'll read out, but it revolves around the final text part of the Midnight Television. Here we go. The message that plays is part of a speech that William Shakespeare recited, To Be or Not to Be. The Faraday malfunction achievement ties into this theory, and as somehow other forces managed to get the radio signal in, and so in the so-called lab the People Playground takes place in. The same person or scientist that sent the signal to both the television, jukebox, and in the void is the same one who sent the message as a way of communicating to the people trapped in this laboratory that time is still passing and life still exists outside the lab. When it says, wake up, it is dawn, at 12 to 3 a.m., it is implying that anyone who is still alive at the lab should wake up, and that it is in fact day. The reason why they send the speech into the television is to show people are still mortal, and we still exist in the same plane of existence. It is not a multiverse People's Playground takes place in, it is Earth. Another fact to back me up with this is the inverse teleportation, where the player manages to teleport a revolver from the real world into the game, hence why it's called a normal-sized gun, as it is the normal-sized gun. Notice how the gun is hyper-realistic, unlike anything in People's Playground that you can regularly spawn. The only other thing of this game that has the same style here are the radios, the vase, and the alarms in the hallway that you teleport through the Puttevoomer, or gate shaper. Due to the realistic qualities of both the vase, gun, radios, and alarms, we can confirm that this lab is on Earth, and it is not the real world, and somehow the scientists that got the radio signal in managed to both transport the radios and vase into the lab, and create the hallway you teleport into to get close enough to the lab to perform such tasks. The alarm in this hallway are flashing due to the immense amount of energy and the power it took for the gate shaper to both create and transport you through the rift. That is presumed either the lab is getting destroyed, or something that created the lab managed to get into the hallway to kill or end the scientist's tomfoolery. Wow. It's definitely a very in-depth theory. I don't hate it. I actually really like it. And props to you for thinking of this. I am impressed. Empty room on Hybrid. Hybrid has an empty room outside the map where you can only see when something explodes or lights up the map. As far as I know, the reason for this is completely unknown, but it has some piping and stuff in it, which I'd like to know the point of that. Pink syringe contents. Thanks to the liquid identificator, or... Okay. If I pronounced that thing wrong, I don't think you guys can blame me too much. I know it's a combination of liquid and identifier, but they decided to make it one word. I'm just gonna call it the liquid identifier. Anyway, thanks to the liquid identifier, we now know what is in the pink syringe. You know, the syringe that gives a random effect each time it's spawned in? According to the pink syringe, it is made of... Okay, no, not really. It's actually not 100% consistent. It changes with each one. Some of the things that could be made include ultra strength serum, durability serum, inert pink liquid, enhancing serum, transparency agent, muscle poison, freeze poison, numbing poison, regeneration serum, combustion agent, circulation poison, tissue deconstruction agent. And that's what I got from just one of these things. So yeah, pink syringe, made of a bunch of things that's different between each one. Jukebox File. If you add a jukebox folder to the game directory and add .wav files, you can actually play them on the jukebox, which is pretty neat if you ask me. I can finally kill people to the sound of... without needing anything external. People Playground Firework. Fireworks have a chance that when they explode, the explosion will spell out People Playground. Alright, that's it. Next point. People Playground 42319 build. Do not re... So, that was the People Playground Iceberg Part 2. I put a lot more effort into this one, so I hope it shows. I feel pretty bad about Part 1, so hopefully this makes up for it. I still love this game to death. I still love talking and theorizing about all the hidden secrets and stuff. I'm pretty sure there's still a few things I missed, but I believe I got every big piece of info in these few videos. Might make a Part 3 if I get new things to add, or if more updates come out with even more hidden secrets and creepy things. But right now, I think that's everything. And I think it would take a few updates to get enough material. But the devs update this game quite frequently, so who knows in the future. I do know that the newest update says that it added more ambient sounds, but it's too early in the update for me to really get anything reliable. Again, thanks so much for watching. Always appreciate it. I'll see you guys in whatever next thing I make.